You're listening to E-Commerce Fastlane, episode 21.
Welcome to E-Commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, launch, grow, and scale a wildly successful e-commerce company. Listen to real conversations with proven practical strategies and success stories. Learn how to generate more traffic, more sales, more profit, and customer lifetime value for your Shopify store. And now, your host and e-commerce entrepreneur, Steve Hutt.
Hey there, it's Steve, and welcome back to the E-Commerce Fastlane podcast. Now, this is your first time listening. This is an e-commerce show where we have honest and transparent conversations about building and thriving online with your store powered by Shopify or Shopify Plus. Now, new episodes are available each week in iTunes or Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, or you can sign up online at ecommercefastlane.com and you can be notified when new shows are being released. Today, I sit down and have a chat with Eric Christensen, who is the co-founder and CEO of Just Uno. It's an incredibly popular conversion rate optimization suite for Shopify store owners. You'll learn some actionable tactics that you can implement right away and how you can maximize your existing traffic with an improved conversion rate and email list growth. There's an incredible amount of money that's being left on the table by so many Shopify store owners, and today's episode is once and for all going to kind of give you some clarity on specifically what you need to do in order to drive more revenue. So let's jump into the show. Hi, Eric, and welcome to the show.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm excited to have you on the show. I have been recommending Just Uno to lots and lots of clients and merchants over the years. And you may have noticed I even put your little logo without your authorization, but I put your logo on my homepage because I highly recommend merchants and potential clients and stuff use your solution because I think it's a no-brainer and they need it. And I think we'll dig in a little bit of that today. So I just want to preface that ahead of time.
Yeah, appreciate it. And as everyone knows, every link for SEO adds value as well, too.
You got it. For those that don't know what Just Uno actually does, kind of high level, can you share with me kind of what problem it kind of solves for Shopify store owners?
Yeah, on a high level, we really solve the problem of retailers not focusing enough on their current website visitors. So we really work to inspire retailers to monetize eyeballs on their current website. And that's like super high level. But the problems we solve and help with is email lead capture, so top of the funnel, right, all the way through the funnel and finishing up at the bottom of the funnel with sales conversion on the shopping cart.
Okay, well, that's a good way to summarize it. So before we dig into the meat and potatoes of what the solution actually does and why I believe people need it, let's talk about your entrepreneurial journey so far, kind of leading up to kind of building this Just Uno platform.
Yeah, I mean, the quick summary is myself, I'm a former online retailer. From 2005 to 2010, we built SierraSnowboard.com, which was an online e-commerce and social commerce business where we built up one of the largest snowboard communities online. We actually competed with Toby way back in the day.
Oh, it's Snow Devil.
Yeah. And we built that up to 20 million in online sales. And we built 98% of our software in-house. And when that business finished in 2010, Travis and I, my co-founder at Just Uno, who engineered the entire back end of Sierra Snowboard, we launched Just Uno. And we've been building Just Uno since the end of 2010.
I see. So you're just shy of, you're into your eighth year now.
Yeah. And we've, Travis and I, we really kind of built the business organically in a sustainable manner, and we self-funded it pretty much all the way through. So we recognize a problem with conversions when we were running our own snowboard business and just kind of kept building the platform to what it is today.
So let's talk about some of the features that are available in Just Uno. And one topic that comes up quite a bit is pop-ups, and are they still considered a little bit annoying to people?
So the world of the pop-up is, there's a lot of history there. And,
yeah, definitely.
And, the pop-up, in 2010 versus today it's a highly sophisticated product now. Mm-hmm. And, the people remember the pop-up as this kind of one-size-fits-all basic pop-up that just shows when you land on a website.
Right.
And there's no intelligence behind it. Yes, it can be annoying. And if it doesn't function even as you intend it to do, the original pop-up requires you to enter your email and then you get emailed an email. But present day, people want that code instantly. I love this conversation because once you start sharing all the value of pop-ups, we have cynics. Like, I have even friends that run retail stores that didn't use us for years, and he finally used it. He's like, dude, oh my God. He's like, these numbers are crazy because, when we look at bounce rates, we'll reduce it. I was just looking at some numbers, average 50% goes down to 40%. Card abandonment drops by, 10%. Just phenomenal numbers. So the value is there if done properly, which we can kind of talk about the proper way to use pop-ups these days.
It's interesting because I see a lot of, even free or premium themes, and even just some people that are just kind of new into e-commerce, and some veterans too. But I find that a lot of the solutions that they're using either just theme based, and they're simply you hit the homepage and it pops up right away, email address in exchange for 10% or 20% off. Just that proves to me that people at least understand a cursory knowledge that there's a benefit in building an email list over time, because they can appreciate that maybe their conversion rate is only 2%, let's say. So 98 of 100 people are leaving. And so this is one way of being able to kind of delicately remind them through retargeting and through email and whatnot. I find it a little bit challenging why people still do that today, having it pop up and generically, and maybe with a cookie so it doesn't pop up again, but it's not really very targeted to the customer that's on the store or the pages they're on. Just hit the homepage and boom, all of a sudden this thing is I think that's the annoying part of it. That's why I kind of asked that question.
Yeah, I know there's still people not exercising basic proper execution of it. Mm-hmm. And if you look at 2017, a lot of the conversation we had when we were talking about marketing was segmenting your email list. Mm-hmm. A lot of it was, we used to just send out these big bulk email lists, emails out, hoping everyone would click, casting a wide net, and we've now learned, less is more. You send a highly targeted email, you're going to higher open rate and a higher click-through rate. So that is what we're looking at with pop-ups on site present days. We're segmenting that traffic out and presenting a pop-up at the right moment in time and with a message that resonates with that segment of a visitor.
Is personalization like more of an expectation now of marketing people now, or of customers coming to the site? Like what's your gut tell you on that right now?
So my gut with personalization is it's a very broad word. Mm-hmm. And when you mention that to a digital marketer, it's like, okay, well, the initial instinct thing people think about is, okay, my homepage should be, if it's somebody in the, where it's raining, I should show an image of someone where it's raining, but that takes a lot of resources. For me, I like to approach it in a very pragmatic way, personalization, and one that achieves benefits on both sides. Okay. And, what is that benefit is a better experience for the shopper, and one that increases the ROI for a retailer while not tasking their resources heavily. So very simple example would be, if you're going to invest in sending an email marketing, you send, what's our upcoming holidays? Here in the US, it's Labor Day is coming up.
Right. Yep.
So all the digital marketers have all their Labor Day emails ready to go. They put a lot of time and resources into designing it. They're going to send that email. Well, I know from historically, we used to do the same thing at Sierra Snowboard, but no one would use that code that they clicked, that we put in the email or whatever. Right. And how do you personalize that experience? Well, that user, when they click that email, we want to reinforce that marketing message on site. So if I click an email, we want to not show a pop-up, but a message bar at the bottom of their website or top that reinforces whatever message you just marketed to them in that email. Which,
I think I've definitely seen that before, though. Yes, sorry to interrupt you, but I have seen that, and I always wondered about that, because so you're suggesting that an email went out, and then they've clicked through on that link that was in that email, and then from there you're somehow able to reinforce the fact that this kind of promotion is on as a delicate reminder through like top or footer type of like banners and things.
Yep. Wow. So perfect example. I'm always using my own real life examples because,
Mhm.
we run a company here ourselves.
Right.
And, I got an email from Guideline. They do 401k management. And it's like, deadline for Safe Harbor is August 31st. You click the email, and in the top banner, it would reinforce the message with a countdown timer with the days till August 31st.
Wow.
So it's that joining the marketing across channels and it's a digital marketer being proactive on site. So the role of a marketer these days is all the way through the funnel
Hmm.
and tying them together. The same goes, just another example would be AdWords. We're spending a fortune on AdWords. Everyone is. Some people have narrowed it down only doing Facebook ads or Instagram. With AdWords or Facebook, you can identify the campaign that they've clicked on. So when they come through, we just have a UTM parameter, so we can reinforce that message from whatever ad campaign
Mm.
and whatever section of the website they're in. So if you're advertising reading glasses and you're paying ads for it, that campaign, when they land on the site, be like, sign up for reading glass price alerts or whatever it is. It's that personalized little bit of personalization that resonates with the visitor.
Yeah, that's really cool. I never, once again, this is like great learning for me too, because, I'm very familiar with UTM codes, but I wasn't aware that just, had that capacity amount. I didn't know that. And I really think that's super important for people to
Yeah.
realize. It really is, because people are spending money. Facebook is kind of the big, obviously AdWords too, but driving this traffic to their site. And it's fine. Once again, you're talking about having just the basics. But this is like more an advanced tactic, I think too, because now having these kind of personalized little banners and stuff, just like you said, to delicately and gently remind them that this is the campaign that they've come from, in an effort to convert them, or if not a conversion, for showing the coupon code, or to a lead capture, or more information in exchange for an email, like some kind of an offer. I think that's a really, really cool feature to have, and should be used.
Well, and what we're kind of talking about is understanding your website visitor and understanding your KPIs and your basic KPIs. So, if you're listening to this podcast and you're, whether you're walking to work, driving in a car, it's like, okay, when I sit down in front of my computer, where am I going to spend my time? Where am I going to focus,
Mm-hmm.
half an hour of my time to increase my sales?
Right.
And that's where my inspiration is like, okay, well, let's look at some basic KPIs. You look at your new visitors, you look at, here's a new one, in personalization is your international visitors. Are
Mm.
what percentage of your business is coming from a different country? And do you understand what it's like to shop from another country? And that's where, we like to recommend to segment out, let's say, all our friends up in Canada. Well, guess what? You can probably relate to this one is you have different shipping situations involved. You've got,
Customs, yeah.
we forget here in the US that Canada is another country and they have to deal with customs.
Right.
And you probably have different payment methods. So wouldn't it be nice if you landed on a US based website and there was a message bar at the bottom that said, hey, we recognize you're a Canadian customer. Click here to learn how we make it easy for you to shop with us.
Wow. So you're saying, so is this through like an IP detection, or is this through browser? How are you doing that?
Yeah, we have thousands of segmentation rules that
Mm.
allow you as a digital marketer to segment out your traffic. And that's where, we start talking about the basic pop up from 10 years ago
Right.
to how we really look at website visitors today, and how you really need to, similar to your AdWords, you have a whole dashboard and platform to manage all your AdWords, your engagement, your promotions, your touch points, your pop-ups, whatever you want to call the way you're engaging with your website visitors.
Right.
You need to run a series of campaigns and messaging to your website visitors.
Now, can it get into more advanced segmentation? Like, what sort of things do you see some of your customers using your platform for?
Yeah, advanced would be, list suppression, or I love ones that are, it's always great. We work with a lot of incredible agencies that we just train on the platform and then they take it to the next level.
Right.
I love the progressive discounting. So telling the visitor they have, they're $25 away from free shipping. So cart value segmentation. We can look at UTM parameters and figure out how much you have in the cart and run rules on those.
Mm,
The buy one get one free. I love that Shopify has increased their discount logic
right.
because it gives a lot more flexibility to on-site promotions, which
Yeah.
we I like to. I'm a former brick and mortar retailer that also went online, and I think a lot of digital marketers in present day may not have that traditional retail experience. And at the end of the day, you're a retailer,
Right.
and retail is all about the current promotion, and that's when we get into when someone comes in your store, you have a promote. When you go to the mall, in the windows, there's a poster that has the current promotions,
Right.
and then you greet them, and then there's a whole process involved, and trying to relate that to the online experiences is the end goal.
And I've interviewed, others in the past, they always talk about that, at least 8 out of 10 transactions are still done, in real life through bricks and mortar. And so we have to appreciate that is still out there and it's still a market. I find that retailers really are changing kind of how, like on the bricks and mortar side, they're changing how they're interacting with their customers and the user experience that goes along with that. It's trying to have this kind of multi-channel experience now of your retail location or your pop-up and kind of how that relates to what's going on your website too. And it's just all about that customer experience that's a buzzword now, right?
Well, yeah, and Steve, you kind of mentioned something that popped in my head is the customer experience and segmentation. I think you can, it's like whether it's AI, machine learning, personalization, you name it, it's people have different understandings of what it is. So some people think just very basic things is advanced, whereas trying to relate and compare what they are. Mobile to us is very basic, and we've actually separated out the platform so that your mobile promotions are treated different than your desktop,
Right.
because that experience, and you need to segment that user completely. You don't click, you tap. Basic things like copy. you know,
Yeah.
and then there's a lot of restrictions you need to put in place for mobile in presentation and everything. So you really have to think about everything. You have to step back and really look at your entire strategy and segment everything and take it serious, and then roll in the personalization elements.
Now, what about retargeting? Now, that's obviously it's a big topic, and we talk about the conversion rate being, let's call it 2% for the sake of argument. So 98 out of 100 are leaving. How does Just Uno kind of fit into this mix from a retargeting perspective?
Well, we could kind of talk about it in two ways. One, in real time, and then
Okay.
actual retargeting. Are you referring to more of like when they're currently on the site or once they've left?
I think while they're on the site, I think would be probably a good place to start.
I recommend two things. If you're going to only do two things today, the first is focus on your new visitors and capture an email address so you can retarget them through your ESP, because that is, in terms of cost, it is the highest value, because you work so hard to get that visitor to the website. Let's get some value. Let's monetize those eyeballs and get an email address. And
Right.
you have to start today. If you're not doing that today and don't have a good strategy in place, it's going to hurt you in 6 months and 12 months, because it's all compounding. So you have that going on. You can also pass the parameters back through into your ESP through integrations of what product they were looking at, everything, so you can have targeted emails and everything. Then fast forward to bottom of the funnel. The second thing is your shopping cart. We have to look at your shopping cart, because we can instantly increase your sales conversion by running a promotion when they're leaving the website or based on the time on that page. That is like 101 right there, those two things. The other message in real-time targeting is making sure you understand why they're leaving and on the cart, why they're not checking out, more importantly. And the stats haven't changed. Shipping is still the number one reason for cart abandonment.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it still isn't sexy to talk about cart abandonment.
No.
It's sexy as your email marketing campaigns, how much you're spending, you're sponsoring this and that. But at the end of the day, do you know how many people came to your shopping cart today? A simple question. And if we ask that question, we get some data behind that, we can then start working backwards. So my message to the listeners is, do you know how many people visited your shopping cart today? Do you know how much money was left in your cart? Very basic questions, but as we run our businesses, we forget to sometimes look at the basic things that actually pay our bills. So with that and the shipping, think about what can you discount that doesn't affect your relationship with your distributors, and from your margin perspective, what is going to fall into you? What margins can you live with? So to kind of tie it all together is, how can you, retargeting visitors in real time on your website? Think about your shipping experience. Do you offer free shipping, or is it a threshold? And are you communicating when that package is going to ship? Shipping, we used to get our packages out same day, which in my opinion is one of the most critical things to communicate to your visitors, is that we understand you want your package delivered quickly and at the cheapest rate, if not free, because that's what Amazon Prime does. And don't make me go to Amazon Prime. I want to shop from you.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny about that. I always see those issues being brought up with my clients, my merchants, about the whole shipping situation, and they feel that for it to work correctly, it's almost like it's a journey to the bottom if all you're doing is lowering your prices down. But the shipping part, it's like there are ways at scale now that it can be quite affordable, and it's just part of the user experience. You don't necessarily have to be the lowest price, because you have a certain look and feel. You're treating the customers right. You're answering your phone. You're answering your emails. You're delicately remarketing people through social media to remind them about your brand. Like, when you're top of mind for people, people are willing to shop, and at some point they feel that it's time to make that purchase, because you've been reminding them, externally out on social or through email, and then you bring them back to the site and still have that nice personalized experience that they've now returned, what campaign they've returned from. I just overall, I think you're right on the money about that, and about retargeting and about shipping. I think it is a big issue that people need to address and figure out if it can fit within their margin constraints. Let's get into like A/B testing, because that's another topic that comes up quite a bit, because I want to make sure listeners understand that, should you be A/B testing some things, and because it appears to be a really difficult topic, even for the conversations that I have about adding on different tools and things, and do I have enough traffic or sales to kind of justify A/B testing things? So I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so A/B testing kind of in our world there's kind of two areas you can look at. One is the basics, which would be like button colors, CTA copy, imagery. There's that world which you do need to focus on that, and small improvements. A/B testing can definitely make a difference. In every website's different, but there are some basics that can be passed through from a design perspective and UI and conversion. Okay. And that's all just very basic stuff and easy to do. Now, the next layer, which is more critical and more I prefer to focus on, is what type of promotions. Is it going to be a dollar value, a percent value? Is it free shipping? Is it expedited shipping? We work with one client they have a very high-end product, and they were offering $100 off and $150 off. And they A/B tested, and the $100 off had a higher conversion rate.
Wow.
So I really encourage retailers, digital marketers, to test that type of stuff, and test promotions as well. The one that I love was, rather than discounting the entire cart, you can discount one item. So 75% off one item versus the entire cart. The buy one, get one free is a fantastic promotion.
Right. Yeah, and I know Shopify now, as of late, has added on, certainly for Plus stores, but others too, with these different kind of buy one get ones and different promotion things now that can now happen kind of natively in the cart, and even with the use of Shopify scripts, there's some really fun things that merchants can do now to really help, boost your conversion rate. So we're nearing the end of the show. This has been like awesome because I've learned if you can see the paper, actually 2 sheets of paper in front of me right now, I've scribbled down so much information. I'm going to share a lot of this in the show notes, but it's been very educational for me, and it's my hope that people listening to the show today have also taken away a lot of good things that you can help with your own store. But maybe you can share some some closing comments, for our listeners today.
As you sit down in front of your computer, I would say maybe, ask yourself, are you focusing enough on your daily website visitors? Do you know your basic KPIs? Your email capture rate, what percentage of your visitors are you engaging with? Your new versus repeat, the number of customers that came to your checkout page, those basic KPIs. It's very easy to just get lost in running your business. We're in retail, so are you leveraging holiday promotions? You go in any grocery store, any car dealership, they're hammering in whatever the current holiday promotion is. It's a great way, visitors expect it. Customers expect that. So be sure you're leveraging that on your website. Other, final message is understand you're competing with Amazon, and, communicating your shipping rates and policies to your customers. That I know personally, I get frustrated. I will revert back over to Amazon if I'm not confident this store is going to ship their product out in time, and is it going to take 8 days, or am I going to get it in 2 days, 3 days?
Yeah, and that's part of the issue. I think is more of a side note, but about the whole drop shipping model. Where you don't have any control over the shipping or the unboxing experience, and because of that, it's almost like sites are being built. They're run because they're popular for a little while, and then I don't know, they're just burnt to the ground and out they go, and you just kind of close the store down, right?
And I might finish also with continue getting inspired on what you can do, and listen to more podcasts, right?
You're absolutely right. No, I mean, that's it. That's the whole reason why the show is out here. I mean, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to interview people and find out why they built their solutions and the problems they've solved. And it's very clear that you're helping lots and lots of Shopify store owners do some of the basics, but can also do more advanced marketing that really can help build a great user experience, and at the end of the day, close more deals for that merchant. So how can people learn more about the Just Uno app?
Obviously, you can visit us in the Shopify App Store if you just search Just Uno, and we offer a unlimited free 2-week trial. And in that, some of the greatest value is our conversion analytics. So once you install the app, we'll immediately start building visitor profiles, and so you can log in, and actually some of your KPIs that I mentioned will be presented to you to allow you to start analyzing and learning how you can start engaging and converting more of your visitors.
Awesome. And typically on our show, we have I know we talked offline before we started recording about offering a special to listeners only. So can you kind of share what you've decided to offer everyone?
Yeah, we had a good conversation. My goal is to really provide value, and I think the greatest value we can help add is we have teams in both San Francisco and Austin. And if you create an account and email in, chat in, call in, and mention e-commerce Fastlane podcast, our team will fast track you to onboarding, and we're happy to provide a 30-minute call to talk about launch strategies, all for free. And if you do decide to launch, we have a launch package that we offer 50% off to all e-commerce Fastlane customers. So.
That's beautiful. I'll make sure I update that in the show notes. It will redirect if you go to ecommercefastlane.com/Just Uno. For those that are listening today, that will redirect to a landing page to talk about that offer. And but I will update the show notes also with that. And I massively appreciate that. I think it's a really great opportunity to, if you're not capturing emails, and if you're not creating a really great kind of one-on-one experiences with your site visitors, I think this Just Uno is a great solution that you need to level up your skills, so to speak, about, hey, let's do some of the basics really well. Let's learn what our KPIs are, as you said, and then let's move to more advanced strategies through A/B testing and just moving forward to kind of move the needle forward. Well, thanks again, Eric. Massively appreciate you coming on the show, and it's been great.
All right, cool. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, everyone.
All right, take care. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope you're able to get some great insights from today's show. The old adage is true that what you don't measure, you can't improve. So analyzing and understanding your most essential KPIs for your business is a necessary part of an e-commerce business owner's kind of day-to-day workflow. So seriously do consider adding Just Uno Suite to your store. It's an established conversion rate optimization platform that will improve your sales conversions. It'll definitely help grow your email list. And it will deliver some great kind of on-site promotions, kind of using real-time user data, your customers. So go check them out, justuno.com. And finally, I'd like to thank you, the Shopify store owner, the entrepreneur, the digital marketer, the e-commerce manager, whatever your role is in retail. Thank you so much for being a loyal listener of the show. It's my hope that this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, exclusive kind of insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal of, trying to help you grow and scale with Shopify. Thank you for taking time out of your day today and listening to the show. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of your week and keep thriving with Shopify.